outside Parliament, and I dropped my thingy. Great.
Hi, my name is Scharliina, and I wrote this speech when I was 13. I dreamt of the day when I would have a voice to speak, when the pieces that someone stole from me at the age of 4 would return to me. First off, I want every single survivor to know that you are not alone. I am here speaking on behalf of all the survivors as a survivor myself. I promised myself at a young age when I wanted to die because of these crimes that I would stay alive and keep on going. That I could be here in front of all of you today to tell you guys that when someone violates your privacy and the right to your body, as a child, it leaves a scar for the rest of your life, and it never goes away. The sexual abuse I experienced in my childhood does not only affect me, it also affects my surrounding. And being a survivor doesn't just affect the survivor, it affects the society as a whole. Because you become incapable of living a normal, healthy human life worth living for a while. My government failed me in their duty to protect me and help me as a victim and survivor of these crimes. But you guys have the power to change that for the children of tomorrow on an online platform that is constantly evolving, and it is not built to protect children from sexual violence. That is why it is our duty to protect the children on these platforms. For the victims of online abuse, their abuse is ongoing. People are every day sharing and selling the rights to their body. I can not only imagine the feeling of this. You guys have the power to change this now by supporting the new EU legislation. And you have the duty to protect those who doesn't have that power to protect themselves. I don't want anyone to ever have to experience what I experienced. Thank you.
Now the speech is said, I was sitting over there. That was so emotional. I was crying my eyes out. Oh my god, my makeup has literally... Yeah. You can definitely see I cried. Oh my god. That was so emotional. They just said I was a standing ovation. I'm gonna cry all night tonight. Oh my god. Speeches have been held. I am still in the parliament and the clock is around 5:30 or 5? No, 16:51. Almost 5. The feedback I got on my speech has been the craziest ever. Like, I had a guy from the European Parliament who writes speeches as a professional tell me that it was the most beautiful thing he's ever heard. That he said it was really good built, and yeah, that meant a lot. I'm trying to find the toilet. Hope that this is it. No, that was the elevator. Why am I so lost? Maybe it wasn't a toilet sign, maybe it was a... It is a toilet sign. I thought I could speak a little bit about the day and the emotions here while I'm still at the parliament. But it's like, I never want to leave the parliament. But I really have a feeling I will be going back. To be honest, I feel like so overwhelmed with emotions, especially like gratitude and the beautiful humans, and especially like the performance. performing like pieces of me to survivors and seeing people in the crowd like crying here in Brussels, like at the European Parliament. It was just like, it was like so meaningful and so emotional. And it was one of those moments really where it's like all the pain was worth it. I wasn't nervous at all today coming into these meetings and places. I wasn't nervous to sing. I have been nervous the past days, but it doesn't feel like the world's biggest thing, but it still feels so meaningful. Like it's not about how big or small the thing is, it just feels like so meaningful. I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm just like so grateful for these people, and I just love these humans, and I love the other survivors, and it just feels like what I'm doing has meaning. And I got such beautiful feedback on the song, such feedback on the performance. I got such good like feedback also on like the, yeah, on everything, on the speech. This has been truly so many dreams come true, and the moment before I started my speech, I knew I was gonna cry. I was already crying before, and kind of my whole life was replaying before me in my head right before I gave that speech. So I knew that it was gonna be loaded with emotions, because I was thinking about my experience of this trauma and how it really affected me, and how long it took for me to stand here and be where I am, and how long it took for me to turn that pain into passion. It isn't easy, and my story hasn't been easy. Even though I am such an optimistic and positive person, it has been horrible and hard. And sharing that to like the other survivors, and sharing the song that I turned my pain to art, just meant so much. Like so much. This has been so meaningful. Really the best day of my life. I am feeling very overwhelmed and grateful. Overwhelmed and grateful, I would say. Yeah. And thank you guys for watching this, and thank you guys for supporting me and my work and what I do. It means so much. And know that if you're watching and you have experienced any kind of trauma or thing, just know that you are not alone. I love you. To the pieces of me that you stole and I seek, yeah, the pieces of me that I should have learned to love. Yeah, you stole them. Yeah, you told me that you own them. The power in you is invested on me.
Survivors coming forward, defying shame, defying trauma, defying stigma, bearing witness, sharing your stories of abuse. Scharliina.
So many young children experience sexual violence in their childhood, and nowadays more than ever, because we have this new online playground which has no safety regulations to protect children from these horrible crimes. And for me as a survivor, it's really important to ensure that no one needs to experience what I experienced.
Those pieces belong to me.